What chilling. Hope you're all doing good. Mm.
Is that Instagrams?
My upright vibrates every time I slouch, which trains my brain to sit up straight.
Everyone's personalities and those.
So, Lauren Chan. She created this video called Female Dating Strategy, Reddit Review. Dating does require some strategy. Good looks won't get you so far.
Partners or potential partners are different, but also because not everybody is looking for the same things from dating. For instance, the dating advice that I found useful when I was single and looking for a more traditional partner who wants to get married and have a family, all of that stuff, is not necessarily what's going to be useful for someone looking for a maybe more progressive relationship. Not to mention, just culturally, dating norms can vary a ton. Like when the right time is to introduce your parents to your boyfriend or girlfriend is something that different cultures are not at all on the same page about. And you know what? That's fine. Those complexities in dating are just part of what can make trying to find a significant other so ulcer inducingly complicated.
Yeah.
Sometimes. However, with that being said, I think it is safe to say that there's some dating advice out there, particularly online, let's face it, that is just so bad, so terrible that no matter who you are or what you're looking for, you should just never, ever, based on common human decency, if nothing else, treat another person like that, much less someone with whom you hope to have a relationship. So it is this awful dating advice that we will be focusing on today. And before we go any further, I first have a quick message from our awesome sponsor, L. L, that's the letter L, is a period and personal care company that is focused on giving you organic period care products without the organic prices. L makes tampons, pads, and liners with organic cotton because they believe a natural product just makes sense for a natural process. So they don't use pesticides, chlorine, fragrances, or dyes either. They're making their award-winning organic period care products easily accessible to you and to women around the world who need them. Because for every L product you purchase, one is made accessible to a woman or girl who needs it. You'll find L by going to your local Target. It's the best looking packaging on the shelf. Look for a clear canister with a gold lid or white bags with a large gold circle on the front. Or get your L organic tampons, pads, and liners right now.
The problem with this is women are shit to each other. Men are shit to each other. Women and men are shit to each other.
Going to thisisl.com/Lauren. That's thisisl.com/Lauren. They also have a subscription service, so remembering to run out and get tampons or pads is just one less thing you have to worry about. Again, the words this is and the letter L.com/Lauren. Now, when I was first planning this episode, I originally was going to include a discussion.
And when men are incels, it's called out. But when women hate men, it's never really called out. Because if it is, you get called a sexist. And female incels do exist. Women who they're called man haters. And they're just as bad as the incels they bitch about.
All those posts that you see online, which talk about how you should never date a Trump supporter and other cringy stuff like that, dealing with politics and dating. But
Date someone who agrees with you. Sometimes that can work, sometimes it can't.
turns out there's
All
just
you can
so
do is try, be patient, be calm and wait patiently.
awful non-political bad dating advice out there that we actually won't have time to get into the conservative liberal stuff today. But if you would like another video about how to deal with political and maybe even religious differences in dating, then definitely let me know. But for now,
Never mix politics and dating. Nope. Nope. Unless she thinks the way you do or he thinks the way you do. Yes.
let's take a look into r/female dating strategy. Now, this is a group dedicated to dating advice for women that seems to have advice so bad, so comically, unbelievably bad that at first I wasn't sure if it was a parody group. And actually, to be honest, I'm still not quite sure. In fact, I think I'd be mostly relieved if I found out it was a spoof and that there weren't actually psychopaths who thought these things unironically out there, because if not, that's just so much crazy. But enough of what I think about these people. Let's hear what they have to say for themselves. R/female dating strategy says that, quote, it is the
Death Wish coffee for 8 years has been a dark roast, a single type of coffee. And here we are about to unleash a medium roast onto the world.
Yeah. That's Wish Coffee's good. No sponsor.
the only dating subreddit.
Oh my god. You're gonna trust subreddits? You our female dating strategy subreddit, community details. I don't need alcohol to make this entertaining. This is gonna be a good video. Mm. The only dating subreddit exclusively for women. Yeah, if you exclude women from an all men's dating sites, for where men have dating strategies, kind of thing. If this were gender reversed, we would be called sexist. The R female dating strategy. What if it was the the R subreddit for males dating strategy? No women allowed. We would be called incels. Get the fuck out of here. We focus on effective dating strategies for women who know what they want and want to take control of their dating lives. Yeah. We also focus on strategies to maintain a healthy relationship that benefits you. I'm sure it's not a subreddit for women to like diddle their clits about how bad they've had it. Big old circle jerk of how much they hate men. You don't know how hard it is. Oh yeah, that feels really good. Shit.
Exclusively for women. We focus on effective dating strategies for women who know what they want and want to take control of their dating lives.
The problem with this is you're focused on what you want, not what the other person wants. It's good to focus on your wants and needs and what have you. But just because and this is where the bitch of dating comes into play. You may find someone you want physically, mentally, but they may not want you the same way. That's just how it works, man. So that's why all I can do is play it cool, man, you know.
Also focus on strategies to maintain a healthy relationship that benefits you. In and of itself, that doesn't sound too bad. I guess maybe the focus on a healthy relationship benefiting you sounds a bit self-centered, but I mean, yeah, healthy relationships should benefit you. I mean, they should benefit both partners, really, but maybe I'm just overthinking things, right? Well, when you look at the group's rules, there are some definite, I don't want to say red flags because that seems like too gentle of a term, so I'll just say DEFCON 10 warning signs. In the group's rules, it's written that there is, quote, no excessive male sympathizing. This
Oh, glorious. It just gets better and better. Holy shit, YouTube. This is why I don't mind waiting patiently while I'm single. Because in this male dating strategy rules subreddits, no excessive male sympathizing, right? But you expect men to do it until you call us simps for doing it. A stupid subreddit of mine, it's not mine, someone else fucking made it, re-uploaded the shrimp challenge video and called it the simp challenge video. I thought that was quite funny. So I made a t-shirt about it and called it Simp Shrimp. I love making fun of the trolls who make fun of me. But look at that. This subreddit is about optimizing that female dating experience. Ladies, you don't need help in the dating experience. All you gotta do is show up and say yes. Do you ever see women doing stupid shit to impress guys? Hey Cheryl, watch this. What's up, Stacy? I want to totally jump this dirt bike over a flaming car to impress a member of the opposite sex over there. Uh-huh. I bet they'll think you're so totally hot for doing it. Meanwhile, chicks are just like, you could have died doing that. What a fucking dumbass. We don't want to hear both sides because that tends to end up in only favoring the male perspective. Oh, kiss my ass. This is why dating sucks, is because we're not willing to hear each other out. Jesus fucking Christ is a cunt. See, I don't need alcohol to do a fucking video. I had some earlier. I was working on my music. Bitchin'. No one wants to hear both sides because it's a frustrating goddamn argument. It turns into a pissing contest of which side has more privilege and which side's more oppressed. And it's like both sides have these things. Yeah. And of course, it does sound like, no offense, a typical female subreddits where it's always going to be the man's perspective that's favored more. It's like, excuse me, honey. Have you seen this hashtag believe all women bullshit? And you want to fucking tell me that you don't want to listen to both sides in your female dating strategy because it just leads to favoring the male's perspective. Right. I'm making a cool pair of black jeans on Valentine's Day. I love to create art. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll keep you posted on that. And if you're trying to date men, ladies, sometimes our perspective might be kind of nice. This is why women will help their guy friends when the guy friends are sitting there like, durr, I don't know why she's doing this, durr. And then your female friend steps in, well, this is why. This is why getting friend zoned by chicks is actually a good thing because you'll actually have someone who understands women as they are women. Durr. This is ridiculous. There are plenty of subs where you can share the male perspective, but this isn't it. Here we put women first. Right. Imagine if this, like I said, or a male dating strategy website where a female's opinion wasn't allowed and the dudes just started making some sexist bullshit up about women, you would lose your fucking shit. Hey, I'm not trying to be the bad guy here. I'm just saying. All advice should focus on maximizing female benefits. Well, of course, it's a female dating strategy website on the subreddit. Shit. All comments and posts should be focused on how the woman can drive maximum benefit for herself and herself only. Mutual benefit should be a byproduct, not a goal. Right there. It takes two to tango. And a mutual benefits it should be the focus because the prize isn't you, it's the relationship. Women and men who see themselves as the prize and the catch. It's good to have confidence, but it comes off as extremely narcissistic. It makes this power dynamic, this power battle of this battle of the sexes kind of thing, and it's horseshit. So it's good to have confidence no matter your gender. But the end goal is the byproduct, as they mention it, not, you know what I'm saying, what can you get out of it? It's what can you bring to the table and what you can give to the other person. What you get out of it's a bonus. You feel me, YouTube? That's why sex is it's a want. It's not a need.
Is about optimizing the female dating experience.
And society puts way too much pressure on people to have sex and make love and have a girlfriend and that kind of thing, especially around this time of year. And it's ridiculous. Valentine's Day is literally the simpiest of holidays. You literally will spend all day giving a chick chocolates and roses and teddy bears and diamonds. And he went to K Swiss. More like kiss my Asperger's. And if the dude's ugly as shit, oh my god, he's simping and he's a creep. But if the chick thinks the dude's hot and he spends the most money on her, well, right.
We don't want to hear both sides because that tends to end up.
Yeah, if you don't want to hear both sides, ladies, then men are not going to want to listen to both sides either. Someone has to just, human up. I'm not going to say man up because that's sexist. I'm not going to say woman up because that can also be sexist. That's why I say people up. We don't want to be gender inclusive now.
Only favoring the male perspective. There are plenty of subs where you can share the male perspective, but this isn't it. Here we put women first. And it's also explained that, quote,
if that female dating strategy subreddit was male based, how long would it last? Bunch of guys FaceTiming each other while they wrench on cars. Yeah, these bras are pissing me off. And you think you don't piss her off, fellas? With your crusty socks on the goddamn floor, your fucking fart streaked underwear laying on the ground. Pick up your clothes and put them in the hamper. Okay, that shit's gross. Could you imagine if your woman left her used tampons all over the ground and didn't pick them up and just let them get dried up and crusty on the floor? And you try pulling that same shit she pulls with you with your disgusting dried up underwear and socks on the floor, like, whose underwear are these? Whose socks are these? All right, hope they're mine, because I'd have some questions to ask.
All advice should focus on maximum female benefit. All comments and posts should be focused on how the woman can derive maximum benefit for herself and herself only. Mutual benefit should be a byproduct, not a goal. So, we're going to go through some more specifics in a second, but one of the things that I found is a staple of
If women have that attitude, could you imagine if guys have the same attitude that them getting the sex is more important to them and their needs and wants are more important than, say, what can the chick benefit from? If it was the other way around, you people, you ladies would lose your shit.
bad dating advice, whether it's for men or women, is forgetting that your partner or potential partner is a person as well, like a whole other person with feelings and wants and needs that are every bit as real and important as yours. I think it's
Thank you. That is a no shit, Sherlock.
be a combination of narcissism and I don't know, not understanding, I guess, what relationships are supposed to be about. Because if all of your dating advice or strategy focuses on how to get the most of what you want,
And here's the thing of it. If a chick hangs out with you, cool. Call her back after 4 days. If she don't pick up, try again in like 2 weeks. If she don't try again in 2 weeks, try again in like a month. And if she don't pick up, then I guess she's not interested and you move on. That's how you play the game. You don't blow up her shit all the time like, hey, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Stop. You're gonna push her away, fellas. You gotta play it cool like a bar maverick number 3, god damn it. And this Valentine's Day, increase your chances of getting with a lady friend. Tactical soap. Yes. I don't care if I find someone on Valentine's Day. I'm just spending it loving life. And that is the best way to look at it, you know?
from other people with no consideration whatsoever for what you're bringing to the table or how you're affecting the other person's life, then I'm sorry, but you don't deserve a good boyfriend or girlfriend because odds are you're not going to treat them right. There are two people who matter in a relationship, not just one. And a boyfriend or girlfriend is not just someone who's meant to serve you and cater to your every whim with no consideration of how they're feeling. And you thinking that
Yeah, and that's just my point. What are you going to do for them? So at the end of the day, relationships are a business exchange. Valentine's Day comes up. Do you make your girlfriend a romantic bath? Pink bath water, red rose petals on top, fire safe scented candles. Do you make a strawberry chocolate cheesecake from scratch and serve it to her on a silver platter with a glass of pink champagne or maybe like some tequila rose? You know, classy shit like that. Yeah. If you're doing it for the benefits of the relationship, then you're in the relationship for the wrong reason. Do it because you want to see your other half laugh and it makes them smile. They could be having a grumpy day and then they snap at you and you say something funny and it diffuses the shit completely.
the case is maybe why you're still single. In any case, this group also has a, I don't know what to call it, manifesto, I guess, of dating do's and don'ts, and it is exactly as toxic as you would imagine. These women really do seem like they're so insufferable that no decent, well-adjusted guy would ever think about dating them. So instead, they like to say that all men are just toxic or there are no
God damn it. Yeah, that sounds like woman hater shit. Can we just get rid of like man hating and incel bullshit on both sides? Like, it's ridiculous.
guys out there as the reason why they're single instead of maybe
Maybe the problem is you. And for women, it's a lot more harder. because they have a pussy. Let's just be real about it. It's easy to say yes and use the pussy to get what you want, but then when the man says he can't take it and he finds a different chick, and you start thinking to yourself, "Oh, men are the same." Maybe it's you, or maybe you just haven't found the one guy that can put up with your shit. That's kind of legit how love works, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in it for the sex, my dudes and dudettes, you're doing it for the wrong reason. Could you spend the rest of life with could you spend the rest of your life with that person to the point where, hey, the sex is off the table because your dick don't work, she's not in the mood, and you're still holding hands and rocking chairs kind of thing? Yeah, because that's what it's really about. You know what I'm saying? Someone to grow old with. It's not about the sex.
For a second, considering that it's them, they're the reasons why they're still single.
Stop rushing women to get married. Stop rushing dudes to have sex. Quit putting so much pressure on the whole love thing. It's ridiculous.
But it is written that, quote, female dating strategists believe that the man should pay for the dates.
What? Female dating strategists believe that man should pay for the dates. Then you try to pay for it, and then they say they don't need a man in their life to pay for it, so then they pay for it, and you're just like, which is it? I want to make you happy. I'm not trying to intentionally piss you off because last time I checked, women are kind of scary when they're pissed off. All I gotta do is drop kick you in the balls and you're done, and no one's gonna say shit. Like, oh, well, you're pissing her off. You probably deserved it. No, go ahead. You're a dude and your chick pisses you off. You try kicking her in the cunt. You're going to jail for battery. While she uses the battery in her dildo because she don't need a man in her life. No siree. So let me get this straight. If a man says women belong in the kitchen, then these female dating strategist women would say that man is sexist. But throwing a man-based gender role that men have to go through, like, oh, the men should bring home the bacon, the men should pay for everything. So, yeah, looks like Nick Fuentes might have found his type. Okay, too far.
Should be responsible for significantly more than half of the expenses in the relation.
He finds him a gal with a 50s mentality who's a female dating strategist. I feel sorry for the chick who gets with that asshole. Holy shit.
I know that who pays on dates is a really touchy, even controversial subject.
Oh my God. So you split the bill. That way it's not all on her or all on you. It's called compromise. It's what relationships are all about. God damn it.
Nowadays, but personally, since I only really dated more conservative, traditional guys when I was single, they had all pretty much at least offered to pay for our dates, and this is
Truth be told, when a woman is used to being treated like crap and then she finds a guy who pampers her, it's nice. But then she becomes used to it. Now it's all of a sudden, oh, the next guy she dates doesn't pamper her like the other one does, kind of thing. And it's just like, eh. Sometimes being single is just easier. Eh.
especially true for my fiance, Liam. I don't see a problem with the guy paying, the girl paying, people splitting dates. I think any and all of the above, or a combination, whatever, depending on the situation, can be fine. But an attitude that I hate from women like this is that the guy always has to pay for a date. no exceptions. If a guy does pay for your meal or movie ticket or whatever it is, that is a courtesy that should be appreciated as the act of generosity that it is. It is not an obligation. Spending money
Yeah, asking a guy to spend money on the date is like when dudes feel like you're obligated to give them sex just because they bought you some food and a shitty movie ticket. Or some jack off who can't put their fucking phone away when they're in the goddamn movie theater. Please silence all devices. And this fucking asshole's just sitting like clicking away on his phone, like. And then you smell fried donuts, and you're like, "Does this movie theater have fried donuts?" Oh no, it's just Chad and his vape stick. Like, hey, dude, could you not do that in here? It says no vaping in here. And the dude just looked at you like, "What are you gonna do about it, Brad?" And just like, whatever.
on someone is a really nice thing to do, but a guy should not be obliged to spend money on you just to spend time with you. And what these girls need to realize
And women should not be obliged to give you a blowjob just because you drink a couple beers with them. That's just how I feel.
in the more traditional relationships where it is a given that a man pays for all the dates, that
Get to
doesn't
know the person's personality before you get to know their private parts. You dig?
mean that the women are just like free to do whatever they want and be taken care of. You want him to pay for the dates? Are you prepared to cook and clean for him, take care of him, stay home and
Wah! That's why you cook and clean it together as a couple. When couples cook the food together, clean the house together, they have more sex, less fighting, they never go to bed angry. Yeah. And fuck the silent treatment, that's bullshit. How are you supposed to resolve the issue if you won't talk about it? Seriously, it's fucking immature. That shit. And rock some of that tactical soap, fellas. Link description box below. Coupon code King Cobra. Spice up your chances this Valentine's Day. Yeah. Oh yeah. Stitch the harsh chemicals, man.
after the kids, or do you only want the obligations to run one way? Toward you. Any girl who says that she refuses to date a man unless he pays for all her stuff, to me at least, seems like she's more concerned with seeing how
That's a gold digger. Excuse me. Ah man, spring allergies. Gold digger. Excuse me. Exactly my point. No, it fucking kills me. If you're a dude who expects to get his dick sucked after you spend money on a chick on the first date, you're just as bad as these fucking asshole cunt women who expect men to pay for everything.
money a guy has, or how willing a guy is to spend his money just to get to know her. And I'm probably going to use this term a lot in this episode, but that's a pretty big red flag. And similarly, an attitude that I also hate from guys is the idea that you should never, under any circumstances, pay for a date. I get that guys are weary of gold diggers and girls just using them for free dinner and or drinks now, which I think is
Yeah, you should pay for the date, but not all the time. Play it by ear, dude.
smart, but I don't think it's a nice
And women are certainly aware of these guys who just use money and cars and flashy shit to get laid. Women are aware of players in that same sense as guys are aware of gold diggers. And that's what sucks about dating. Assholes ruin it for everyone. That sounds familiar.
quality to say you'd never pay for your friend's dinner, for instance, and I view dates the same way. And by the way, I also think it's wrong for a girl to say she'd never pay for a guy's dinner, too. If you like someone and you're able to, buying their meal is one of the many ways you can show appreciation for them. And I think ruling it out because you're afraid to be taken advantage of is just like, I get the caution, but I
Can you blame anyone for not wanting to be taken advantage of? I know the feeling.
think being that jaded and
At the
suspicious
same time, you can't just be suspect of everyone. Like, there are good people out there, man. They fall few and far between because our society likes to reward the assholes while making good people struggle for it. It blows my mind.
off the bat is healthy or an attractive vibe to be putting out there, especially on later dates. I feel like if a guy did that to me, I'd be wondering why he doesn't trust me. And before we go any further, I want to tell you about an awesome new movie that I think you're gonna love. Almost Dating.
Ridiculous, you two, because women and men destroy trust for each other. If a woman has had 20 shitty exes and finds the one decent guy, she's going to have a hard time trusting him. The same can be said for men dating women in that aspect.
We hear stories of terrifying assaults on free speech in America. These people are so unglued, they accuse conservatives, Christians, those of Jewish faith, of being Nazis simply because they disagree with leftist doctrine. Instead of engaging in an exchange of ideas, they seek to silence anyone they disagree with through obstruction, threats, and even violence, even their own campus newspapers. In No Safe Spaces, radio talk show host Dennis Prager and podcast king Adam Carolla exposed the attack on free speech and free thought. It began in the universities, and now it is infecting our workplace environment, social media, and if left unchecked, your home might be next. The film also features Ben Shapiro, Ann Coulter, Jordan Peterson, and others as they fight back against the assault on our freedoms. No Safe Spaces opens on hundreds of screens across America this weekend, and this is a chance for you to let your voice be heard on freedom of speech. Go to nosafespaces.com and click the theater button to find a theater near you. The founding fathers put freedom of speech first for a reason. Without it, none of our other rights are possible. That's nosafespaces.com, nosafespaces.com. Next, the Female Dating Manifesto states that female dating strategists do not support being upfront about a woman's sexual past/sexual history.
Oh, that is so hypocritical. So women don't have to be upfront with it, but you men, Jesus Christ. Yeah. I'll wrap this video up as quickly as I can. It's late. Do appreciate y'all tuning in.
No matter how many men you've effed in the past, your answer whenever a new guy asks should range from 3 to 5. And we would point out that a guy even petty enough to ask in the first place is a red flag on its own. If talking about who pays for dinner is controversial, then asking a woman about the number of previous partners she's had is like dropping an atomic bomb. I may just be a simple country commentator, but if and you ask me, no dating advice should ever be, oh, just lie or hide this from your partner. Like that's not good. And I feel like I shouldn't need to explain why. And maybe some of you are going to disagree with me on this, but no, I don't think that your partner asking you how many partners you've had previously is a red flag. I
Just time and place. You know what I'm saying? You don't ask that shit on the first date. You know what I'm saying?
feel like getting to know someone's dating history is part of getting to know them. And ladies, if you're dating someone who had slept with 80 different women before they'd met you can't tell me you wouldn't want to know about that. Maybe at the very least have a conversation about how and why that
Preach it.
happened. Because just so you know, it is actually proven that statistically, the higher the number of previous partners you've had, the more likely your marriage is to end in divorce. Plus, promiscuous behavior is also linked to a ton of other emotional and behavioral issues. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that if you've slept with the more than 5 guys these women have for some reason deemed to be the edge of the sweet spot, you will end up depressed and alone or anything. That's not it at all. But the idea that it should be of no concern of your boyfriends or girlfriends, that's just not true. And finally, it's written that, quote, female dating strategists advocate for the woman putting herself first. You, as a woman, have inherent value, and as such, you're the prize. He should work to earn your love, respect, and commitment. A man that you have to chase is not a man worth having. Female dating strategists.
Okay, female dating strategist. You want men to chase you, you don't want to chase them.
Do not believe in any kind of male pandering. The advice and tactics prescribed here are for women and for the benefit of women primarily. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that caring how a man feels in a relationship qualifies as male pandering. I've read quite a few posts from the
Especially when you expect men to care about how you feel.
group, and nowhere have I seen anything about what these women have to offer to the men who are supposedly meant to be fawning over them. He should work to earn your love, respect, and commitment. What are you doing to earn his love, his respect, and his commitment? Are you going to support him in his career, listen to him,
Thank
make him
you.
laugh, take care of him, be a good mother to his children, or what? What are you going to do for him? Why should he want to be with you? I remember having this the relationship is all about me attitude in college, but I was a teenager back then. This level of narcissism should not exist in adults, but based on other posts and comments that I've read, there are plenty of women in this group who are like 30 or older. And I don't mean to sound harsh, but maybe these women wouldn't still be single if they asked themselves for once what they were bringing to the table, aside from just being a woman, I guess. All right, so we've gone through some terrible dating advice geared toward women, but now let's look at some awful advice aimed at men because apparently people who give out really bad dating advice, probably because they grew up in an environment where their parents' relationship was either extremely dysfunctional or non existent, come in both genders. Yay for that. I originally saw this list of commandments for dating being shared on Twitter, and it really took me aback how anybody could think this stuff was worth writing, let alone sharing. Again, I wish this was parody, but I really don't think it is. And the first commandment that caught my eye says to quote, make her jealous. Flirt with other women in front of her. Do not dissuade other women from flirting with you. Women will never admit this.
Don't do that shit. Do not flirt with other women. Why? If you're in a healthy, elevated relationship that's consensual, why would you want to flirt with other people in front of your other half? That's bullshit.
Jealousy excites them. The partner who harnesses the
No,
gales
it doesn't. It just pisses women off. They already feel insecure enough about their looks. And then they got their man checking out some other woman like, what's up? Now she immediately feels insecure about the way she looks. God damn, whoever gives this advice is so dumb.
of jealousy controls the direction of the relationship. Have
Because try using a guy's jealousy against him to control a relationship. Doesn't work out so well, does it, ladies?
you ever noticed that the people who tend to complain that there's no good women or men out there are usually the people who just so happen to have terrible tastes in women and men, or who just so happen to be the type of people who do things that only a terrible, messed up person would ever find attractive and or tolerable? There is a certain type of girl out there, I won't lie, who will be attracted to a man so rude, so inconsiderate, and so emotionally manipulative that he will purposefully flirt with other women in front of her. But, and that's a big but there, this is not the type of girl you want in your
But
life. Fellas, if you're putting out literal garbage, don't be surprised if all you get are rats coming around. Trying to make someone jealous is not a nice thing to do. Can you imagine if your girlfriend did that to you? How would that make you feel? Trying to make your partner jealous is basically trying to hurt them on purpose, and that's what psychopaths do. It's just not a way to have a healthy relationship. And the next questionable piece of advice is to quote, adhere to the golden ratio. Give your woman 2/3 of everything she gives you. For every 3 calls or texts,
no, that's 50-50, you dumb fuck. Oh my god, whoever gave this advice. The 16 commandments of Poon, fuck off.
her 2 back. 3 declarations of love, earn 2 in return. 3 gifts, 2 nights out. The idea behind the golden ratio is twofold. It establishes your greater value by making her chase you, and it demonstrates that you have the self restraint to avoid getting swept up in her personal dramas. It would make me so happy to put whoever wrote these commandments and whoever wrote the female dating strategy manifesto in the same room and just wait, see what happens. Maybe, against all
Yes.
odds, they would actually find love with each other and just
Yes, it's the equivalent of incels and man haters in the
be
same
horrible
room.
together. If you're consciously withholding love, praise, and affection from your partner in order to enforce some sort of weird power dynamic, you're crazy. You are a crazy person who sounds so exhausting to be around. no normal person will ever want to date you. Mind games like this, like the jealousy thing, they are not going to help you find love. They're not going to help you be happy. In a healthy relationship, both partners are trying to do as much as they can for the other person because they love them and they want them to be happy. If you're this worried about your partner not valuing you enough that you'd rather not reciprocate affection and communication so that she has to address you more than you address her, it's dude, you have insecurity issues. I recommend you fix those before trying to pursue any relationships because, frankly, they just won't work out well. The commandments also state to, quote, always keep two in the kitty. A man with options is a man without need. Love is ephemeral, and with time, she may rediscover her power and threaten to leave you. Withdrawing all her love and all her body in an instant will rend your soul if you are faced with contemplating the empty abyss alone. Knowing there is another you can turn to for affection will fortify your will and, ugh, satisfy your manhood. What a gross term.
Yeah, no
Like I
shit.
said, this guy clearly has insecurity issues. This whole don't be afraid to lose them, they're replaceable attitude was also, incidentally, all over the female dating strategist group. This all just sounds like advice from people who've never been in serious relationships themselves, or at the very least, not healthy, loving ones. Caring about someone means being hurt if they were ever to leave. There's no way around it. But trust me, when you love someone, you're not going to want to keep a backup. You won't give a damn about the backup. You won't want to spend your attention on anyone else. And if you're still trying to keep your options open in a relationship, you're not with the right person. Or maybe you're an a-hole. Probably both. And the final piece of bad.
If your other half, that you're no longer dating, didn't get you shit on Valentine's Day when they were dating, all they did was show up to fight with you, then fucking don't date them.
Bad dating advice is to, quote, ignore her beauty. Never compliment a girl on her looks, especially not a girl you aren't effing. Look, I say don't withhold compliments from anyone.
Fuck
There are too
sickos.
few of them in this world. If you feel like saying something kind to someone,
I fucked this chick right here though. It
just
was
do it. But
consensual and she was old
especially
enough.
don't withhold kind words from someone you're interested in. This guy, whoever he is, has a weird obsession with power dynamics. That's a red flag, by the way. A big honking one. Anyway, I don't think I can tolerate any more of these crazies and their bad advice, but as always, I would love to know what you guys think. What's the worst dating advice you've ever gotten? And conversely, what's the best dating advice you've ever gotten? Let me know, but that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
Well, there you go, YouTube. I'll catch you later.